So how do you improve your credit score? Today I'm going to give you guys 5 tips to improve your credit score fast in today's training. Hey everyone, it's Mike Adams, and on this channel we empower individuals to achieve freedom through improved financial literacy, business ownership, and real estate investing. If it's your first time here, make sure to go ahead and click subscribe, click the bell, so that way you get notified on any and all of our future content. So in today's training, I'm going to be giving you guys 5 tips on how to improve your credit score fast. And a lot of you guys have reached out with different credit questions. You know, how do I get my score up? Many of you guys are wanting to use different strategies and start acquiring some of these lines of credit. So you do want to do and take the proper actions to get your credit score to move up. So how do we do that? So I figured I'd put together a short video to give you guys my 5 tips. Okay, to really just make sure that your credit score is in the best possible position so that way you can acquire the lines of credit that you're looking for to move forward with velocity banking or whatever you're trying to do in your life or in your business. So tip number 1 when it comes to your credit score is never miss a payment. Ever. Okay. Bottom line is that is one of the big things that can really harm your credit. And if you're looking for, let's say, a home equity line of credit or a personal line of credit, they're going to be looking for, is this someone who makes their payments? And if you have missed payments on your credit, that is something that will definitely red flag you and prevent you from getting those top tier lines of credit that we really want for this strategy. If you're using velocity banking, you want great terms, you want low rates, you want low fees on the balance transfers. If you're not making your payments on time every time, you're running the risk that you're gonna have to pay higher interest rates and higher fees if you're gonna be doing any transfers. Number 2 is if you have a line of credit, you have to show activity on that line of credit. So use the card and use it every single month. And and what you want to do with this, right? You're not looking to just use it and then leave the balance there, make a minimum payment, and now you're paying interest. We're not interested in that. We want to pay less interest on this channel. So what you want to do, and a great way to do this, is obviously you want to use your line of credit, but make sure that you're going to be able to pay that off every single month in full. So that way, if that card has an interest rate on it, you don't have to pay any interest. And so if you're someone that's not used to using your credit card, again, I grew up, maybe I'm a little old school, but I remember growing up where it's like, look, if you pay for cash, use cash for everything. So a lot of folks have that mindset where you want to pay for everything in cash. Use the line of credit instead. Show activity on that line. Show the banks that you want to use credit. Okay, they want to extend credit to people that use credit. So you got to use it. One cool thing that you can do is you could take some of your normal bills, like let's say anything you got on auto pay, like your Netflix, or whatever you're using for your internet service provider, those basic necessities, your phone bill, and you could set those up on auto pay that ding the credit card. Okay, and that'll show some activity. And then from there, set up your credit card with auto bill pay at your bank. So that way you can really automate this process. That way you're running that activity through your credit card and then making sure that it's paid off in full every month to prevent interest. So that's a great way to improve your credit and show activity on that line. The third thing that you can do is focus on keeping your credit card balances under 20% utilization. So what does that mean? Okay, if you have a $10,000 limit on a credit card, that means you don't want to charge up over $2,000. Okay, $2,000 would be 20% of $10,000. So you want to keep that balance under 20%. Okay, once you're over, that's when it will really start to impact and reduce your credit score because you're starting to trickle up there and starting to show a higher utilization. So you want to keep your utilization rates under 20%. Now, my 4th tip is to not apply for credit too often, okay? And you certainly don't want to apply for credit if you're not pretty darn sure that you're actually going to get it, okay? So if you're watching this right now and you have beat up credit, but you want better credit, you want to be able to get lines of credit, a credit card, whatever the case may be. But if your credit's all beat up, okay, you got to make sure that you're doing your due diligence on what you're applying for. Because what you don't want is to start applying for a bunch of credit and get a bunch of denials there. Future banks are going to see that. And those are also going to create what's called a hard inquiry on your credit. And those hard inquiries can last up to 2 years on your credit report. So one thing that banks don't like to see, there's an old quote by Bob Hope, and he says that a bank is a place that will loan you money or lend you money if you can prove that you don't need it, right? And so if you're out there applying for this credit card, this one, and all of a sudden you're dinging all these cards and you're getting all these hard inquiries, the next bank's going to think, man, this person, obviously needs this money. What else is going on here? Maybe we need to look at denying this person the opportunity to get this other line of credit. So you don't want to be applying for too much credit, and you don't want to be applying for credit too often. Only apply for what you need and when you need it. And my fifth big tip for you to increase your credit score is to request limit increases from your current lines of credit. So simply put, by doing so, and let's say you are carrying a small balance on a credit card. Let's say you have a $10,000 credit card and you have a $1,000 balance on there. So you're at 10% utilization. If you're in a good credit standing there, and obviously you have a pretty decent credit profile, if that's the case, and you don't have any other loans or bills out there that are not in as good a standing, but if that's all you had and you're at 10% utilization, every 6 months you may be in line for a limit increase on that card. And so let's say you called the bank and said, hey, I'd like a credit limit increase, and they say, awesome, yeah, you've been doing great here. You're only at a 10% utilization on this $10,000 limit card. You only got $1,000 on there. Hey, we're going to go ahead and bump your line up to $20,000. Pretty sweet, right? And what that does is that takes your utilization of 10% and immediately reduces your utilization down to 5%. Okay? So just by getting obviously paying down the balance, that would as well get you to that 5%, but through getting that limit increase, that can reduce your overall utilization and increase your credit score. So guys, those are 5 big tips on how to increase your credit score. And let me know, there's a lot of different things that you could do to improve your credit. If you guys got some ideas, or if you got some of your favorite tips, go ahead and put those in the comments below. I will see you guys in the next training.